Welcome, this is Carrie Shell from On Point Quilter. I love to draw silhouettes in Electric Quilt, as the shapes are really fun to use for simple applique elements on a quilt. Let me share with you my tricks for drafting them using Electric Quilt 8. Okay, here is the butterfly silhouettes I found on the internet, and I have a link in the blog post, and I'm going to right click on that and do a save image as, and I'm going to navigate to my EQ8 images and I will select save. Then I'm going to Electric Quilt and I'm going to select design a block from scratch, and I'm going to do a new block, applique motif, and I will go to the tracing image and select import image, and I will navigate to the images folder in my EQ8, select the image and select open. And I decided I only wanted one of the images, so I'm going to move the crop box to just pick up the butterfly that I want to trace. And then I will select OK. If I want to reduce the white space, I can select crop again and adjust the outside edges of the crop area, and then select apply crop. And for position and resize, I will do an inside fit. And then I will lighten this and I will go to the drawing tools. On the precision toolbar, it really doesn't matter about the block width and height, but under the snapping options, make sure that you have snap to nodes of drawing and auto join segments when drawing turned on. I also like to turn on the height show autofill on closed patches so that I know that I have a patch that can be colored. I will select the freehand tool and draw the outline of the silhouette. Now I will not release my mouse at all, but I will pause at the points where I have sort of sharper corners. And I'm not worried about a super accurate drawing at this point, but just trying to get a very rough outline of my butterfly. The shape has filled in, which means all of my segments are connected. If the shape does not fill in, you will need to use your edit tool and you will need to move the nodes so that they are connected. Now I will turn off height show autofill so I can see my tracing image when I clean up my drawing. I'm going to select the edit tool, and now when I select my image and I select a node, it is going to tell me the type of node that I have selected. Now most of the nodes are either going to be smooth nodes or corner nodes. Corner nodes are used where you want a sharp point, where smooth nodes are used typically when you want a very curvy section of the drawing. So I'm going to first of all identify where I want my sharp points, and I am going to click on that node, and if it's not a corner node, I'm going to change it to 1. And I can change the type by just selecting the type under Edit Nodes and Segment. During this process, I will also move the corner nodes as needed to match the sharp points of my drawing. Once I've identified and adjusted the corner nodes, I can now start moving the lines and the smooth segments to better match the curves in my drawing. Now each of the nodes has handles. In a corner node they operate independently. In a smooth node they operate together. And you can move the curve or you can move a node or its handles. For simple arcs, I like to often eliminate the smooth nodes, and you can double click on a node to do that, and then I will move the arc and move the handles in between the two corner nodes. You will be amazed at how quickly your drawing can be completed using that approach. Now this one's a pretty long segment, so I'm going to double click to add an extra node, which will make that a little bit easier to manage. And I will zoom out, and I will put the Hide Show autofill so I can get a better look. And if that looks good, I can go to the color tab. I decided I wanted to use a Applique to color this, so I selected Open Library, navigated to the Manufacturing Basics and the Moda Coda Batiks. And maybe a blue or a pink. I'll select those, add to sketchbook and close, and then they should be at the end, and I can select that and add that to the project sketchbook. And it will require me to save this. I will call this Butterfly Motif and select Save. Thanks so much for watching. For additional tips and techniques, please subscribe to my weekly newsletter at www.onpointquilter.com.